Hello, my name is Ron, and I'm one of the client principals here at Saltworks Security. Today we're going to show you how to install SaltMiner as well as SaltMiner Community. The difference with these being that there is a license file that is used for SaltMiner. If you do not have a license, then SaltMiner Community will be installed by default. If you need to procure a license, please contact our sales teams at saltminer.io and they'll be happy to assist you. From a prerequisite standpoint today, we are installing this on a base Ubuntu 22 image. There's not a lot here. It's a very stripped down image. I've done a uname command so you can see what's there. I've also created a directory called SM for SaltMiner, and I've put a license file there. Once again, if you don't have a license file, then you will get SaltMiner Community Edition by default. Also, if you have any type of DNS where you want to use custom DNS names, you want to have a Elastic over SSL, then you'll need SSL certificates as well as any other requirements. A list of those base requirements will be on our website, saltminer.io. We have a docs directory out there, and one of the places is system requirements. You can check that out and look at any system requirements that we may have. But this is just a simple base install we're covering for today. Without any further ado, let's get this started. So the first thing we need to do is to get SaltMiner. So to do that, we're going to run a wget command, and we're going to paste our directory here. So we have a download.saltminer.io/sm/rel for releases, and this is our latest version of SaltMiner. So we're going to go ahead and get this downloaded. Now that we have it downloaded, we will need to unzip the file. So let's go ahead and unzip this. The installation does require root privileges, so you will be using sudo commands to do that. Also, during the course of this video, there will be long pauses where we're waiting for specific actions to complete. There will be silence there. You're all welcome to fast forward through the video in those portions and go to the next step. Also, you may want to have Notepad or some other type of text editor open because there'll be certain things you'll need to copy out during the installation so that you have a record of those for future installation steps. So now that we have this unzipped, we see that we have a sm-install.sh script. So we want to actually make this executable, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. And then from there, we need to go ahead and run this as a privileged user. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off. So the first thing it's going to show us here is, hey, do you have a license? And if you do, you need to have it in the same folder. And if it is, it will be automatically moved and consumed. So we're going to go ahead and continue with our installation. The first thing it's going to do is install all the prerequisites that the software needs. So we're going to go ahead and hit yes here and get it to install all of our prereqs. During the course of the installation, you will be prompted at certain steps to restart services. So it's going to prompt us for these things. Right now it's letting us know that a newer kernel is available. I'm not worried about that right now, so we're just going to move to our next step. And this is a list of services that it would like to restart. We're going to go ahead and restart those services. So all of our prereqs are installed. I'm going to tell it OK. Right now, it's going to ask if it wants us to install Elasticsearch. This application is based on Elastic and Kibana. It is an elk stack application, so it will be installing both products. So Elastic has been installed. We're going to go ahead and press the Enter key. If we have no SSL certs or anything to do here, then there's nothing to do in this file. If we have specific DNS names or things of that nature, this is where we begin setting some of that up. Right now, this is a default install on a local node, so we're not going to worry about doing any of that for the time being. So it has generated some default credentials for us. We're going to copy these credentials out and place these in Notepad for me. That way I have these. As the script runs, though, it will actually tell you which passwords it needs, so you can copy them directly out and put those in the file. It will also open Nano as a text editor for you so that you can edit it, as we saw in the prior screen. So this is one of the steps. It says that Kibana is installed. For the next step, we will need to put in the Kibana system password. It's telling us what this is. So at the minimum, we need to put this password in our file. So we're going to go ahead and press the Enter key. It will open Nano, and we will need to put this password in. So we're just going to scroll down here, and we're going to find the Elasticsearch password right here. We're going to go ahead and put the Kibana system password in. At this point in time, we can test to see if the Elastic system is up and running. We're going to go ahead and skip this portion and go ahead and continue with the installation script. If you have any firewall rules that need to be written, you will need to take care of those before you continue. It is now going to install our SaltMiner components. It has completed that, and now it's going to copy our license.txt file, and is going to ask us to enter the elastic password and the next API config file. This is what you copied out when we, in the prior step, when we said to copy the creds into Notepad. So I'm going to copy those creds. I'm going to press our enter key and go ahead and put that in. Same thing in this file, we need to enter the elastic password. Now it is finishing our installation. It's creating the API services. And the last step shows us where we can edit our local host file. We can set the name to SaltMiner, or we can configure DNS on this server, as well as, have that propagated out, as well as some simple commands we can run to actually test some invocation of specific services. So we see an example of invocation, changing to the SaltMiner account, and then changing to the SaltMiner directory, setting our environment, and then running our run test connections.py script. That will then test our connections and make sure that everything is running. I will then show you what SaltMiner looks like in the next screen post install in a browser. Now that we have SaltMiner installed, we can test our installation. You can navigate to the IP address of whatever machine you installed it on. The default login is going to be Elastic with the credentials that was provided during the installation. I just copied these out of the Notepad file that I had earlier. There are some default spaces that have been created for us. Developer, Executive, Default. I'm going to select the PenTest space. There should be no data here. I'm going to navigate to the SMP GUI directory, which is our SaltMiner PenTest instance. So here we can see SaltMiner is installed, and I can begin configuring and adding engagements. I can also go to some of the other views. For example, I can go to the developer view. I can see the dashboards will probably be there, but there'll be no data. As we see, we have all errors across the board because no data has been populated. But at this point, we see that we have a successful installation of SaltMiner. Thanks for joining today.